This is 3 Minutes-ish with Wayne Bergman. We're talking a little bit here today at the BizCon CLE, our annual convention, and we just heard from a great keynote speaker, Gary Schoninger, on all kinds of things to think about for your business. But let's talk for a second about talent. People tell me so often they have a hard time finding talent. What are they doing wrong, Wayne? What should they be thinking about?
I think that's a common theme with all businesses of any size, and particularly the smaller ones. But when I work with clients and we have this discussion, one of the things I concentrate on is really you have to market for talent the same way you market for customers. Because to me, it's the same process.
So just like you're attracting a customer, you're attracting people to work for you.
So all the energy around what makes you different.
Right.
Why should a person who's currently employed someplace else take the risk of coming to work for you?
Right.
Why can't you market it that way? You've got to go through with the same value proposition. And as Gary said, is what's going to attract them to the type of work. It's not making the widgets.
Right.
It's what are you doing differently with those widgets or providing those services. You
know, the one thing he talked about some research in a book called Drive, where they talked about the fact that the research shows us that people's performance or their creativity is directly inverse to extrinsic rewards.
Yes.
I thought that was a really interesting comment. Talk about that for a second.
Okay, so as a leader, and say an entrepreneur or an owner, in order for me to get that person to work on the task and get passion out of the task, I have to think differently as a leader and an owner. So that's what he was talking about, and I think a lot of others do. Carol Dweck has a book on growth mindset. I'm sure you've heard that. But along that line is, okay, in order to attract that talent and to get the passion out of those people, what do I have to change as the leader and the owner?
So it's as your business changes, you have to start shifting your thinking. Is that the idea?
Right. Okay. So I can look on the resume and I can find all the skills that I need, whether it's accounting skills, attorney skills, sales skills, manufacturing skills. Right. But that's not what he's talking about. How am I going to get that person to come on board and have the passion and the drive, the self-drive, self-motivation? That's on me. As the leader, I've got to set the conditions differently for that person to come to my company and be happier.
So I think the end result is if they're driven as much as you are by purpose, you get more out of them, and they end up basically earning minimum wage like you do, right?
And what do I get to do as the owner?
Right.
I'm not the overseer anymore.
Right.
I'm not the manager anymore. If my mindset changed and I hire a better team, guess what the team is doing? They're taking care of the customer. Right. They're taking care of the business. And what can I do? Maybe I want to grow the business.
Right. I think it makes perfect sense. That's 3 Minutes-ish on talent with Wayne Bergman at this year's BizCon CLE.